Pakistan, officially known as the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, is a country situated in South Asia, bordered by India to the east, Afghanistan and Iran to the west, and China to the north. Its southern coastline stretches along the Arabian Sea, providing it with a strategic position that has made the country economically significant. Prior to commencing, please ensure to click the like and subscribe buttons to stay up to date with the newest content. As a gateway to the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean, Pakistan plays a crucial role in regional trade and has the potential to become a major trade hub. Its importance is further highlighted by the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, which aims to connect China's western region to the Arabian Sea through Pakistan. Despite its strategic location and economic potential, Pakistan has faced numerous challenges in recent years, including political instability, security issues, and a growing fiscal deficit. The country's economy is struggling, and it is now on the verge of bankruptcy. To better understand the situation, we must first talk about the relationship between China and Pakistan, China's debt trap policies, and the repercussions of Pakistan's troubles. What is the relationship between China and Pakistan? The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, a flagship project of China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, has garnered significant global attention since its inception in 2013. CPEC aims to connect Gwadar Port in southwestern Pakistan with China's northwestern region of Xinjiang through a network of highways, railways, and pipelines. This grand infrastructure project is expected to promote economic development, trade, and regional connectivity between the two countries. However, the funding for CPEC and other similar projects under the Belt and Road Initiative has raised concerns about China's debt trap diplomacy. Debt trap diplomacy is a term used to describe a situation where a creditor country, in this case, China, extends loans to developing countries for infrastructure projects, knowing that the borrowing nation may not be able to repay the debt. This could lead to unsustainable debt levels for the borrowing country, leaving them vulnerable to political pressure and, in some cases, even ceding control of strategic assets to the creditor country. The concept of debt trap diplomacy has become increasingly relevant as China has extended massive loans to countries across Asia, Africa, and Europe to finance projects under the Belt and Road Initiative. With an estimated $62 billion invested in CPEC alone, Pakistan has become one of the largest recipients of Chinese loans, leading to concerns about its ability to repay and the long-term implications on its economy. While the completion of several CPEC projects has indeed improved Pakistan's infrastructure and energy supply, the growing debt burden has raised eyebrows among international observers. In June 2020, Pakistan's total public debt reached an all-time high of $112.8 billion, with around $22 billion owed to China. This mounting debt has fueled concerns about Pakistan's economic stability and its ability to meet future repayment obligations. How does CPEC benefit either nation? For China, CPEC offers an alternative shorter route to access the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean, bypassing the crowded Strait of Malacca. This new route can significantly reduce transportation costs and time for Chinese goods, giving the country a competitive edge in global trade. Additionally, CPEC can help develop China's less developed western regions by improving their connectivity to international markets. On the other hand, Pakistan stands to gain from the massive investments in infrastructure, energy, and industrial projects under CPEC. These investments can potentially boost the country's economy, create job opportunities, and improve living standards for millions of people. Moreover, better infrastructure and connectivity can help Pakistan become a regional trade hub, attracting foreign investment and spurring economic growth. In essence, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor aims to create a win-win situation for both countries by fostering economic cooperation and promoting regional development. However, despite the potential benefits, there are concerns about the long-term implications of CPEC, particularly in terms of Pakistan's growing debt burden and economic dependence on China. What are the implications of this debt on Pakistan? The increasing debt levels have sparked concerns about the long-term consequences for Pakistan's economy and political independence. One of the most significant aspects of Pakistan's debt situation is its increasing reliance on Chinese loans. As of 2020, Pakistan owed China around $22 billion, making China the country's largest creditor. This growing debt has raised alarm bells regarding the possibility of a debt crisis or even a default, which could have severe repercussions for the country's financial stability and international reputation. Moreover, the heavy debt burden places significant pressure on future generations of Pakistanis. As the country struggles to meet its debt obligations, resources that could be used for social development, education, and healthcare are being diverted towards debt repayment. This has the potential to exacerbate existing social and economic challenges, making it even harder for the country to achieve long-term growth and development. Another critical implication of Pakistan's mounting debt is the potential loss of sovereignty. As the country becomes more dependent on Chinese loans, it may find itself increasingly vulnerable to political pressure from Beijing. For instance, in cases where a country is unable to repay its debt, the creditor nation may demand control over strategic assets, such as ports, as collateral. This has already been seen in Sri Lanka, where the government had to lease the Hambantota port to China for 99 years after failing to repay its debt. The increasing debt levels also raise concerns about Pakistan's ability to maintain control over its economic policies. The country's growing indebtedness to China may limit its capacity to make independent decisions about trade, investment, and other economic matters, effectively ceding a degree of economic sovereignty to Beijing. What exactly does China want from Pakistan? China's interest in Pakistan extends beyond mere economic cooperation, as it holds significant strategic value for Beijing. One of the most important aspects of this strategic relationship is the development of Gwadar Port, a deep-sea port situated along the Arabian Sea. This port, an integral part of the China-Pakistan economic corridor, provides China with direct access to the Arabian Sea and, by extension, the Indian Ocean. This access is crucial for China's maritime trade and security interests, as it allows the country to bypass the congested and geopolitically sensitive Strait of Malacca. Another strategic interest for China in Pakistan lies in the potential for increased political influence in the region. As China invests heavily in Pakistan's infrastructure and provides financial support through loans, it stands to gain significant leverage in the country's decision-making process. This influence could help China secure its interests in the region, counterbalance India's growing power, and potentially even extend its reach into the Middle East and Africa. The debt trap diplomacy plays a critical role in furthering China's strategic goals in Pakistan. By extending loans for infrastructure projects that Pakistan may struggle to repay, China can strengthen its position as a key partner and creditor for the country. This indebtedness can translate into political influence and leverage, enabling China to push its strategic agenda in the region more effectively. Also, China's investments in Pakistan's infrastructure, particularly in the areas of energy and transportation, could help create a more stable and prosperous Pakistan. A stable Pakistan is strategically beneficial for China, as it minimizes the potential for regional conflict and ensures a more secure environment for China's investments and interests. What are the world's superpowers doing about China's debt policy? China's debt trap diplomacy has generated considerable debate and criticism from the international community. The United States, India, and other nations have been vocal in expressing their concerns about the potential negative impacts of China's lending practices on developing nations. One of the key criticisms is the lack of transparency surrounding the terms and conditions of Chinese loans. Unlike traditional international lenders, such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, China does not adhere to the same level of openness and scrutiny when it comes to its financial agreements. This opacity can lead to concerns about the true nature of the loans and the potential hidden costs for the borrowing nations. Another significant concern raised by the international community is the environmental and social impacts of the infrastructure projects financed by Chinese loans. Critics argue that many of these projects do not adhere to internationally recognized environmental and labor standards, which can result in long-term damage to the environment, displacement of local communities, and exploitation of workers. However, the international response to China's debt-trap diplomacy has not been limited to criticism. In an effort to counterbalance China's influence, countries such as the United States, Japan, and Australia have launched their own infrastructure investment initiatives in the region. These efforts aim to provide alternative sources of financing and support for developing nations, promoting more transparent, environmentally friendly, and socially responsible projects. Finally, other nations participating in the Belt and Road Initiative can learn valuable lessons from Pakistan's experience, such as the importance of carefully evaluating the terms of Chinese loans, prioritizing transparency, and ensuring that projects are environmentally and socially responsible. Moreover, there is potential for reform and greater international cooperation in the areas of sustainable development and debt management, which can help countries strike a balance between reaping the benefits of Chinese investments and maintaining their long-term financial stability and independence.